All right, today's short clip is going to be going over the details of how to use the goals feature inside of YNAB. There's a couple different types of goals, so I'm going to show you an example of each one of them. So let's do it. So the first thing to know is using the goals feature, the best place to do that is on the desktop. It's just easier to find. And then you have to select a category in order to create a goal for it. So once you select a category, you're going to see over here to the right, it'll say create a goal for that category. So we're going to click that. There's three types of goals. One is needed for spending, which means you're going to budget a certain amount every month, but you're actually going to still spend it. And it's okay that you spent it as long as you budgeted that full amount. Targeted savings is I want to get up to a certain amount by a certain date. And if you spend any money out of that category, it's going to say, hey, you're backwards, go forwards again, right? And then monthly savings builder would be like, I want to save $100 a month towards savings or my kid's college or whatever it is. That would be monthly savings builder. So let's do needed for spending because this is rent mortgage, right? So maybe you need this for spending every single month, right? Your mortgage is every month. So let's say I need $1,000 for spending every month. And I'm going to say I want it by the end of the month because my rent's due on the 1st. And so I want to make sure that it's there, that it's in my category, that it's ready to go before the 1st of the month. So I'm going to do end of the month. If it's due on the 15th, you could change the date in here and choose your own date. Now, needed for spending can also be used for something that you need by a certain date. So this is great for like quarterly bills, maybe a semi-annual insurance payment, or maybe an annual subscription. Just choose the actual date when that thing is due and put the amount that it's due. And it will actually walk you through how much you need to budget each month to be on track for when that actual bill is due. In this case, it's monthly. I'm going to say monthly by the end of the month and save. And you're going to see it's going to say budget $1,000 more to reach your goal. If you have already budgeted only half, you'll see that this little progress thing is halfway there and it says budget $500 more to reach your goal. Now you do have this option of these progress bars here. I just think it makes it look messy, so I don't like them, but they are there if you like that, if you are more visual. So let's look at an example of the targeted savings. So this would be like maybe an emergency fund. So I have an emergency fund that I want to create. And let's say I have $5,000 in it, but I want $5,000 more to have $10,000. So I'm going to say, I want to save $5,000. I'm going to do by date. I'm going to say, you know what? Let's do this time next year, 2022. Oh, of course. There we go. July 2022, I want to save $5,000 by that date. And you'll see it says, okay, budget $357 more to stay on track. And so maybe you say, well, I don't have that, but I've got about $250 I can put in this month. So you do that and it'll say budget $107 more. Well, next month, it'll realize that you didn't quite get there. And so rather than saying $350 something, now it says $365 because it's going to lead you towards your targeted goal. Even if you don't quite get there each individual month, it will let you know if you're on track and how much you would need in order to get on track. And then the last type of goal is for, let's call it car replacement. Let's say I eventually am going to need to replace my car. I don't quite know when. So I just want to save $200 a month until I'm ready to replace my car. So I'm going to call this, instead of needed for spending or target savings, I'm going to say monthly savings builder. And I'm going to say $200 a month. Now, the thing to know about monthly savings builder is that it's just every month. There's no target date. There's no anything. You just kind of want to make sure that you've put $200 a month into that category. And so once I do that, 200, then I get a little check mark and it knows that I did what I needed to do for that goal. And so for example, here's my mortgage. Back here in June, I only did the 500, right? So if I want to add the other 500 to get on track for my goal, I can do plus 500, oops, or I can just type in the $1,000 and then I've got my little check mark. And let's say in June, I'm like, you know, I'm not quite there yet, but I can do 325 because that's what I had in my budget. So it's just telling me I'm so close. But at least it gives you that visual. It gives you that idea about how to stay on track. And so I hope that was helpful. Goals are an incredible feature because they really give you the visuals and the prompts that you need to make sure that you reach your goals on time, which is awesome. All right. See you in the next video.